It's Christmas Eve, 1945. For the Sodder family in West Virginia, it's been a tough year. On this night, they're gathered together in their home in Fayette, West Virginia. They've got 9 children, and the oldest 3 are away serving in World War II. But the rest of the family is there. Well, they go to bed that night. Everything seems normal. But then, around 12:30, one of the mothers, Jennie, is awoken by a phone call. Someone asks for a Mrs. Murphy. No one by that name lives there. And so Jennie goes back to bed. But shortly after, she is awakened again. This time she hears a crash on the roof. Then she smells smoke. Flames are visible near the fuse box and telephone wires. She and her husband, George, rush outside with their eldest children and their youngest daughter, Sylvia. They're shouting for the others, but there's no answer. Panic and confusion. George tries to get his truck to start so he can drive to a neighbor's house to call the fire department, but it won't start. And they soon realize that the ladder that normally stood by the house is also missing. Fire trucks eventually arrive, but they're unable to save the house. When firefighters enter the home, they find that the missing children are nowhere to be seen. In the days that follow, investigators declare it an accidental fire caused by faulty wiring. But George and Jennie refuse to believe that. They think that their children were taken, perhaps even kidnapped. Jennie would carry a picture of her missing children around in her purse, showing it to everyone she met in the hopes that someone would have seen them. The case remained unsolved, and there were plenty of theories over the years. In 1950, the family saw a billboard erected with pictures of the children on it. The tagline read, "The public can help." Was this a desperate attempt to keep the case in the public eye or something more sinister? Some believed that the fire wasn't an accident, that someone had set it, knowing the children would be inside. Others wondered if the kids had actually escaped, if they'd somehow gotten out of the house and maybe wandered off, lost in the woods somewhere. In 1970, nearly 25 years after the fire, a man wrote a letter to the family. He sent a picture of himself, which the family believed was their son Louis, who would have been 26 at the time. But there was no explanation, no answers. The mystery only deepened. George died in 1969 and Jennie in 1989. But Sylvia, the youngest daughter, never gave up hope. She believed her siblings were still out there somewhere. And in 2021, she passed away believing that her siblings were still out there somewhere. As for the case itself, it remains a mystery, one of America's most haunting unsolved disappearances. If you have any information, please contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.